So yesterday, after I went for a walk with my dogs, I decided to lay out and stare up at the sky and watch the clouds roll in as I heard classical music in the background and the wind tickled my ears. I was transported back to a time in my teen years, my early 20s, when I would write poetry and when I would take photos of myself with the black and white filter or play songs that I'd written on my guitar for my Tumblr girlfriend at the time. A time when life was just messy and complicated and emotional, but it was still so beautiful in its own right. Hello, love. I'm Anjuli, and I am romanticizing my life again, and it has done wonders for my mental health, my physical being, my art, because I feel like the world is just falling apart all around us, but butterflies still flutter and roses still bloom, and I can still be appreciative of that beauty that exists all around me, despite the horrors that continue going on. So yes, yesterday I decided to lay out under the clouds, and honestly, I didn't think much of the activity. I was just laying out there, and I had my Kindle in my hand, and I thought, I'm gonna read a book. But then as I stared up at the sky with my sunglasses on, protection first, I decided to put the Kindle down, switch my music to something that was more classical, something that wouldn't distract me too much, turn it most all the way down for my hearing levels. And I just stared up at the sky and started watching the clouds. And like I said, at first, I didn't think too much of it, but then I started to feel almost like a child again when I used to lay in my grandma's backyard and we would just stare up at this vast blue sky with these white clouds all around us, because in Pennsylvania, we are in the valley and everything is beautiful and romantic, and you still have those vibrant kid eyes where all the blues seem extra blue and the greens seem extra green. And I was transported back to this place, and my brain goes, I want to be in the clouds, but I don't want to be a bird. I don't want to be in a plane. Somehow I want to be in the clouds. Maybe I want to be a cloud. And as my brain is thinking all of these thoughts, sober, mind you, my brain is thinking all of these thoughts, there's another part of my brain that's like, why are you thinking about this? This is silly. This is nonsensical. But I told myself to hush down. These thoughts aren't being monitored, and just let yourself think freely. Let whatever happens happen and flow as is. And as I continued my time staring up at the clouds and watching them twist and turn and do all the things that clouds do, appear and expand and then dissipate and get smaller, poetry started to fill my mind again. And the colors, as they reflected off the sun, I instantly thought, maybe I should paint. This would be a beautiful scene to paint. And as the clouds got big enough where they started to cover the sun, I thought, oh my God, I could write a song. This feeling has a rhythm to it, and this would be a very beautiful song. And it's been a very long time since I've been able to just allow inspiration to flow through me, not necessarily acting on it, not necessarily even judging it, just allowing it to flow through me. And that would not have happened had I not allowed myself to just slow down and stop for a second and appreciate something that's just given to us so freely, that's just spoken to us so freely. And there are other things that I've been doing as far as romanticizing my life, like getting dressed every day. I don't get dressed like this every single day, but first thing in the morning, I put on a dress and then I go for a walk with the boys. And I understand that to everybody around me, that probably seems crazy and insane. I am wearing a gown down to my ankles, and it is blowing in the wind behind me, Scarlett O'Hara style, and I am walking my dogs in some trainers. And I understand that that scene could probably seem completely insane, completely impractical, but I am content. Actually, even more than that, I am happy feeling these breezes. I am happy wearing something that brings me joy, like the first day of school. I am feeling a sense of joy that I haven't felt in a very, very long time. This isn't a fashion show, and that's too much. And I don't like to talk about feelings, are all phrases that have been said to me time and time again as I entered my 20s. I'm in my 30s now, and I didn't realize it, but over time, these phrases have gotten to me. They've started to beat down my own form of individuality. They started to shut me up and make my words, my mouth smaller. And I felt less inclined to fully express myself as the individual that I used to be, the individual who is wearing 5-foot-inch heels in the grocery store for God knows what reason in small farmer town, Pennsylvania, okay? I have lost so much of the artistic essence that existed in me because of phrases like this. And I see it all the time now with our youth, with our society. I see a lot of conversations about millennials and the younger generations about how millennials are so cringe. And, I don't want to be like the millennials when I get older because they're just dancing in their kitchen to music from back in the olden days. And, I understand the fear of getting older. I don't understand the fear of allowing yourself to be fully, unapologetically happy and joyful in a world that is constantly trying to take that away from us. I don't understand that. And when I think about the people that say things like, this isn't a fashion show, that's too much, I don't like to talk about my feelings. I think about what we have decided to call adoringly cringe culture, and I think about how we've made being human, being just ourselves, something worthy of scrutinizing, something worthy of belittling to make smaller and making palatable, and thus removing our essence, our individual essence from it. Because how dare I do something and then maybe people judge me or perceive me or mock me? We always have this lens in front of us. We always have our followers. We always have, somebody else that might be filming us even when we're not aware, and then posting it online to make fun of us. We always have that lens on us. So let's not try as hard, or if we do try, let's veil it under apathy and sarcasm so that I'm in on the joke first. I knew that it wasn't a good idea. I knew it was funny first before you. Instead of just being vulnerable in who you are. It is scary to be what we used to be on the internet. And it is so painfully antagonizing to look back on it and recognize, oh my God, I was so cringingly vulnerable, but also there's something so human that exists in it. We talk about our distaste for consumer culture and our distaste for how everything feels like an ad nowadays. Do you know why that is? It's because of cringe culture. It's because we are afraid to just let ourselves be free and allow ourselves to feel the full experience of being a human. And I don't want to feel that way anymore. I don't want to feel like I have to put myself in some prepackaged little dainty box that feels palatable. I don't want to feel like I have to niche myself into something so that I am something worthy of being spectated at. I just want to put myself out there into the world as who I am and let all the weirdos find me because I love who I am. And I love all the versions of me that exist. I've started playing Sims again, and I promise this is relevant to everything, but I've started playing Sims again because when I was in college, I used to play The Sims 3, and the university pack had just come out, and I would skip classes to put my Sims through university. Now, this is obviously bad. This is obviously wrong. And I developed a sort of shame and embarrassment and feeling about video games that it's completely unnecessarily and it's just a waste of time. But recently, because my life has become so full, I have no shame in playing Sims anymore because it's fun and I really do love it. And it doesn't keep me from having this super full life. I have started going for walks daily, and I used to have this thing because I wanted so badly to be a health person, somebody who is very healthy, very fit and all of that. And so I used to say, I'm going to go for a walk 30 minutes a day. And I would block out these mornings and I would try to do the walk 30 minutes every single day. And by day 3, maybe it started to go down to 20 minutes every other day until I slowly started to fade out because I hate thinking about fitness. I hate it, okay? I hate it so much. I will never be that person, but I have probably walked more now than I have in a very long time. I've started thinking of my walks as just a silly, fun, goofy thing that I do. I'm wearing my pretty little dresses that I get to wear every single day. I'm taking time to take pictures, take the video, really appreciate the moment that I am in. And I'm doing them several times a day because it's something I genuinely like to do. I have a carrot cake tea and it is so delicious. And I've started making it for the summer. So now I put ice cubes in it and making an ice carrot cake tea. And it is so, and now I just savor the experience as well as the taste because it's just the highlight of my day now. To, after having a nice walk in the warmth outside, to come inside and have a carrot cake iced tea. I love it. And it's moments like that. I have several moments a day where I get to say, I love my life. My life no longer feels like that episode of SpongeBob where Squidward is just going day and day and day and day and it feels the same. I'm doing a lot of the same things every single day, but I'm finding new precious moments to appreciate in each day. And that's what this is about. That's what life is about, is everything is falling apart all around us, but we are still able to find joy in our day-to-day moments. And that's what's going to be carrying us through everything at this point. And so I'm curious, what keeps you from romanticizing your life? Is it your fear of cringe that you need to embrace the cringe, okay? Or is it, maybe just it's not practical all the time? And I understand that too, but I also think that you can find little pockets, even 3 minutes to just maybe turn on some Natasha Bedingfield and spin around in a circle. I think that we can find little moments of happiness in our own way throughout the day. And until the next video, thank you so much for watching this one, and bye.